Hey, me and Matt here, and this is Killer Kyle. Kyle.
Hola!
See. And welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. And I'm sitting here one day and I'm thinking to myself, well, nobody asked for it, but it's coming back.
A routine that we did about every other week or so. We haven't done it in a while. So here it is. This week in wrestling. And we're coming off the heels of an astounding WrestleMania weekend, and boy, what a weekend it was. You had NXT TakeOver New York, you had the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony, you had the G1 Supercard with Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, WrestleMania, and there's Raw from this week, SmackDown from this week. Holy moly, what an journey, adventure, excitement, energy, charisma, whatever.
Yep. And you know, it's funny because, yeah, we do these episodes from time to time, you know, and we try to follow it. We try not to make the video long, that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes it's difficult, and that's why we kind of stopped doing this for a while, but
yeah, we end up making the video long because we either forget something, or we get off topic, or we're on topic and we just go long-winded about it, or whatever the case may be.
yeah.
But
So, I mean, we try our best. I try to edit it the best of my abilities and whatever, so yeah, WrestleMania was great. I mean, like I said in my review, it was like an apology for last year's WrestleMania, so NXT also was awesome.
oh, absolutely.
I think, you know, and no real surprises in the audience except for
Piper Niven and Tony Storm.
yes. I really wish that James Storm would come up.
Yeah, I don't know if once he left Impact, he just decided, oh, I'm gonna take a break from wrestling and maybe not wrestle anymore and pursue something else, like, or just be, you know, stay at home with his family and see his wife and maybe kids and other
Yeah.
stuff like that. Who knows?
While we're at the subject, let's talk about NXT this week. It was an interesting video.
What a show that was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you know, it's kind of like, how awesome is that brand compared to Raw or SmackDown, I guess.
I mean, they will show a backstage interview with maybe Johnny Gargano or Bianca Belair or the Forgotten Sons or Tommaso Ciampa maybe.
Yeah.
But it's mainly just wrestling. It's an hour-long show, and they have matches. It can be Bianca Belair against Io Shirai. It could be Matt Riddle against Cassius Ohno. NXT is a really good show. Ray Rowe, not that long, maybe, I don't know, 6-ish months ago, maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
Recently marrying Sarah Logan.
That's right, yes.
And she has the Viking group she does where they fight each other and all this other stuff. So, Rowe and Hansen have this Viking style entrance with helmets and guys with shields and swords and the helmets and all this other stuff. Black and Ricochet, customary in Japan, and NXT TakeOver New York was the final show for Ricochet and Aleister Black, meaning that they're, well, come next week, next Monday and Tuesday, when the International Superstar Shakeup happens, they will be permanently a part of the main roster, either Raw or SmackDown. Which one? We don't know yet. They've been bounced back and forth between the two over the last several weeks leading up to WrestleMania. And so, whatever brand they end up on, they're going to kick ass. Either way.
This week's NXT, so we saw Aaliyah in action.
Yes.
And that was cool. I think it was Aaliyah and Candice LeRae.
Yes.
So, yeah, you know, I find that it's funny because she's like the, I don't know, Valley Girl type Canadian woman, I guess.
Well, it's interesting because when they first brought in Aaliyah, she was this energetic, vibrant, youthful character, I guess you can call it, if you will. Having like the little headband cat ears thing, kind of like Natalia used to do.
Yeah.
And she was on NXT for a little bit, and then off NXT for a bit, and then back on NXT for a bit, and then off NXT for a little bit again. And it was just like, they had her wrestle, but they didn't really fully have a spot for her, you could say. It was just kind of, she was, if we need you, we'll use you. Otherwise, just kind of do your own thing. And then they partnered her recently with Vanessa Bourne and made her this heel, valley girl, glamorous, whatever you want to call it. And it's been working out pretty good so far. And I mean, for a young girl like Aaliyah to be partnered with kind of a veteran and Vanessa Bourne, I mean, it seems to be working out so far. We'll see how it goes, what the end result will be, but nevertheless.
Well, when I saw Aaliyah in Peterborough, it was kind of like, I didn't know when she turned heel, but talking about how Toronto is a hell of a lot better than Peterborough, and she lost the match with whoever it was against, and yeah, she's being carried out kicking and screaming. Yeah, that was a good match. But yeah, that was cool. Well, we had the Forgotten Sons. It was Riker.
Jackson Riker against Danny Burch?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny, we'll talk about 205 in a little bit, but no, Orny Larkin is in going to 205.
Yes.
Yeah, Danny Burch, okay, so.
Danny Burch would be NXT UK, I think.
Yes.
He's been on there a couple times.
Yeah, he's the British guy. Yeah. And so, yeah, that was a good match, too. You know, my brother is like, you must like the Forgotten Sons because they're metal and all that stuff. And it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's not kind of, I always had these mixed feelings about the military, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird to me. And I know Gunner was on Impact with James Storm, and there was a Marine there that had one leg.
Yes.
Can't remember his name, but yeah, so going over to NXT is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where the three of them came together as a pairing because Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy were a tag team. They went solo. Buddy, of course, right now is on 205 Live. And Wesley Blake just kind of got lost in the shuffle, if you will. Jackson Riker was signed with NXT and didn't really see a whole lot of him until the whole Forgotten Things son started. And as far as Jay Cutler, not really a whole lot known about him. And then, like, really the only standout of the three would be Wesley Blake, only because of partnership with Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you obviously watched TNA, you would know Jackson Riker, Gunner.
Yeah.
But Jay Cutler, not really much known about the guy.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting stable.
Right.
And I'm not quite sure what's going to happen once they hit the main roster.
Yeah.
I was actually watching an interview with Johnny Gargano.
Right.
And he says that I hate when people say, when are you going to be on the main roster? When are you going to be on the main roster?
Yeah, exactly.
This is the main roster. And then I thought about it, and then it is true. I mean, I said it before. NXT is a wrestling show. SmackDown and Raw are sports entertainment. In my opinion, so...
And the one thing about Raw and SmackDown is compared to NXT, with NXT being on the network, there's a continuous flow.
Yeah.
Whereas with Raw and SmackDown, there's so many commercials that you're interested, but you almost lose interest with it being commercialized. At least with NXT being on the network, it's engaging and you keep engaged.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
There's really no filler. So that's kind of, well, refreshing in the wrestling business, at least. And WWE.
And I mean, with it being an hour, and you have, let's say, 3-4 matches, and each match is around 15 to 20 minutes, or thereabouts.
Right.
You can easily fill an hour, no problem.
So...
Well, there was a tag team match with the Street Profits and... was it Bartel and Eichner?
Okay.
That was a pretty good match.
Oh yeah, it was actually. And you know, yeah, a lot of people are gonna pick on Street Profits because they're stereotypes or whatever, but they kick ass. You know, I think they do really well. I wish that they would get a tag team championship opportunity, but...
I will admit, when I first saw the Street Profits, I was like, there's nothing special about these guys. Yeah, you got Angelo Dawkins doing that leaping 360 corner clothesline, but other than that, there's nothing really stands out about these guys. Now, it seems like, oh, they got some momentum coming off of last year. They're continuing it into this year. They're off to a pretty good start. There seems to be a lot of investment and interest in these guys. There seems to be a lot more moveset between the two of them, if you will.
Yeah.
Especially when you got, like, Montez Ford getting beat up by whoever for a good portion of the match. Then you got Angelo Dawkins coming in and beating up the opponents and showing off his strength and his aggressiveness and all this other stuff, and then eventually they end up getting the win, which is how tag team wrestling was built, you could say.
Yeah. No, that's definitely it. You know, I think that once these two, if they eventually hit the main roster, it'll be pretty cool, because then there'll be more tag teams. I mean, I'm still waiting for Io Shirai and Kairi Singh to hit the main roster eventually.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll get to that
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the fact that they were recapping what happened at TakeOver, and you had not really a whole lot went on, but that's fine with the NXT live, if you will, after a TakeOver. Yes, they'll have a few matches, but for the most part, it's talking about and recapping what happened at the TakeOver event, and maybe a couple interviews as well. Oh, also, just remembered, your new United Kingdom champion, Walter.
Fucking Walter. Yeah. And I gotta keep up with my progress. There's so much wrestling on the internet that it's hard to keep up with. Like, I stopped watching Lucha Underground. I should get back on that. But, yeah, I mean, Walter is one of the best now. And that was a hard-hitting match, too.
Oh,
like,
was it ever?
you have these two guys who... I mean, Pete Dunne, the longest UK champion, which I didn't even know about. Like, I remember when he won. It's hard to believe it's been like a year and a half.
Yeah, almost, yeah. And it was like I said when we did our prediction video. If Pete Dunne was to win, it just went to show how dominant of a champion he is. If Walter was to win, which he did, you can't take anything away from Pete Dunne. I mean, 685 days as champion, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 205 is good. And I think that, well, as I've always said, it was a better brand since...
Drake Maverick took over,
Yeah.
Humberto Carrillo against Jack Gallagher.
Oh.
Yes.
So, yeah, this was a really, really good match.
Yeah,
I
it was,
really
for
enjoyed
sure.
the match. I really enjoyed, you got the British strong style of Jack Gallagher. You really have the Alberto, or whatever.
The lucha style of Humberto Carrillo.
So, and then Drew Gulak was
Commentary.
yeah. But, yeah, this was awesome. And I think that those two really pulled out all the stops. And this kind of happened where Drew Gulak got up, goes over to Alberto, who was on the top rope, and he's like, get down, you know better than that.
Pushes him off, which causes the disqualification. And the match is over. Drew gets in the ring, he's beating up Humberto, stomping him, kicking him, punching him, whatever.
Tough love.
Yeah, tough love.
Yeah.
Humberto gets up, Drew goes to punch him, Jack stops him.
Oh, yeah.
Drew turns around, man, what are you doing? What are you stopping me for? I was like, boom! Headbutt right to the
bitch.
jaw.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, that partnership is no longer effective.
No, and, I thought about it. I think, well, I guess there's another face turn, having Jack out. Who knows? I mean, Jack can actually do that, and why not?
Maybe have Jack mentor Humberto?
Pretty much, yeah, because who knows what happened to Brian Kendrick. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
But you have the main event, which was...
The rematch from WrestleMania. At
But-
WrestleMania, the kickoff show, had Buddy Murphy defend his Cruiserweight Championship against Tony Nese.
Yep.
Tony Nese would come out with the victory, become new Cruiserweight Champion, and the rematch was on 205 Live, and holy hell was that a barn burner.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, it was still the same. Tony Nese won, which exactly what you want,
I mean, on the WrestleMania kickoff show, it was a very good match, but it seemed like the rematch on 205 upped the ante a little bit because, you got Tony getting thrown into the barricade, and you got Buddy getting thrown into the barricade, and there's throwing each other over the announce table, and all this other stuff, and it's like, okay, this is becoming a heated rivalry, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. And I mean, Because those two were a tag team, allied with one another.
Yeah.
And then they go and they have a match at WrestleMania, and then they have a rematch in 205. It's still fucking really good.
Yeah.
So we'll see what more they can do. Let the feud marinate for at least a while longer, you know?
And maybe we'll see the Cruiserweight Championship defended on a more of a frequent basis than once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
When Buddy was champion. I mean, take nothing away from the guy. He made a very good champion. It just seemed like his time as champion, he only had defenses on, like, big shows, you could say. He had a match against Tony in WrestleMania kickoff show. He won the championship from Cedric in Australia. He had a match, I believe, in Crown Jewel. He had a few other title defenses during his reign, but it seemed they only used the Cruiserweight Championship as a main attractor, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. Which is kind of the way it used to be. I mean, the Cruiserweight Championship was not used very much, unfortunately, but, you know, like even back in the day, you know, not WCW, but Matt Hardy didn't really defend it that much.
True.
I don't remember, so there it is. But they still put on a hell of a match, and
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see what else they can do.
For sure.
So let's go now to SmackDown. And I think Teddy Long must have put a bug in someone's ear.
Yeah, really.
So it's, you know, you have Lars Sullivan, first of all. We'll get to him, but
Yeah.
you've got the Hardys becoming the SmackDown Tag Team Champions for the 16th time. I can't.
Maybe.
It's a long process, anyways, but yeah. And it was a good match. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Does it mean it was necessary? I don't know. I think that the Hardys are great, and they just got back together. I think it would have been much more poetic if they had a match at Money in the Bank.
I guess, yeah.
You know, a ladder match, no less. But, you know, that happened on SmackDown. It was fine. So, well, there it is.
Hey.
What else happened on SmackDown? Because I only saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. Well, there was the Kofi Kingston Championship celebration.
Right.
I noticed they had the ring set up, and you had like a tray of pancakes, and you had a bunch of other things, and then they had this big balloon rainbow with all the colors. They're talking about how Kofi deserves it, and he earned it in 11 years, and Kofi thanked his family, and thanked Biggie, and Xavier, and gave quite a resounding thank you speech, if you will, and then, of course, the bar comes out and is like, oh, we didn't want you to be champion. We wanted Daniel Bryan as champion, so on and so forth. And then the bar was like, how about we challenge you to a 6-man tag match? And it's like, aren't your numbers kind of off? Because there's 3 of us and only 2 of you. And they're like, well, when we were on Raw on Monday, we made a new friend, and, well, he's not too happy with the way things went down, and he wants a piece of you 3. And who should come out? Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, Sheamus and Drew are longtime friends. They met each other on the Indies in the UK, along with Wade Barrett I'm sure they had lots of matches against each other. And so, of course, Sheamus and Drew know each other really well. I'm sure when McIntyre came back, or maybe even before he left, whatever, Drew and Cesaro became friends, I would imagine. But it was interesting, to say the least, having a 6-man tag match with the New Day, the Bar, and the Scottish Psychopath.
Well, and it was cool because it was almost like Team Europe going against Team America in a way.
Sort of, yeah.
You know, I got the Swiss and the Irish and Scottish, and so I mean that was cool. And of course, you know, they really are trying to push Kofi. I think that's awesome.
Yes.
And he won the match for his team, and he's standing tall, which is pretty cool, actually. You know, well, I'm watching something on SmackDown though. A little bit was Shane McMahon. And you know, it's like I enjoyed him as a heel in '99 when he was a Greenwich, Connecticut punk guy or whatever, and going up against X-Pac and all that kind of shit. This is kind of the same thing. I just kind of think he's a bit more goofier.
Yeah.
Kind of like, no, you gotta say it like this and blah blah blah.
That poor ring announcer, what the fuck did he ever do? And on Shane's bad side, okay. Shane wants him to put a little more oomph on it when he announces the best in the world, Shane McMahon, and yeah, whatever. But I mean, reaching out and grabbing him by the jacket, grabbing him by the tie, get it right, like, really?
Oh yeah, I mean, dragging him out to the aisle and then leaving, it's kind of like, okay. Pointless, exactly. But, I mean, SmackDown was a good show. Again, I didn't watch all of it because, you know, I was watching it with my brother and I had to leave, whatever. So, but from what I saw, it was really cool and I enjoyed it.
Well, you did have a little segment thing with the Iconics.
Oh, right, yes.
And, you know, they won the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania, and they're like, oh, we'll defend these titles anywhere, anytime, against anyone, and we earned it, and we're the best, and we're iconic, and it's like, you're basically, like, it was very good what they said, but it was also like, you're copycatting what Bayley and Sasha said when they won the titles. We'll defend the titles against anyone, anywhere, anytime, you name it, we'll be there, so on and so forth. And it's like, okay, but fucking prove it. How many matches has there been for the women's tag team titles since the women's tag team titles came into existence? 3? 4? Hello? Knock knock, and we're home?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said before, yes, they're still trying to get footing with those women's tag team titles, but in order to do that, you gotta establish something. Like, okay, they were won by Bayley and Sasha at Elimination Chamber. They were defended against, I believe it was Tamina and Nia Jax at Fastlane. You have a 4-way at Mania, which is fine, but keep the ball rolling here, people. Come on.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's new. And
Oh, I agree with you. It is. And I mean, you have the titles change hands already. Only 2 to 3 months in.
yeah.
I mean, okay, I guess.
Yeah, but, you know, and the thing is, too, is that Paige comes out and she's like, well, I got other surprise opponents for you people, like, for Iconic, so I think that either it's going to be someone from Raw, or maybe Io Shirai and Kairi Sane.
Well, seeing as how the Absolution thing went down the fucking toilet, we'll see how far this goes.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they were a fairly good unit, and then, of course, they had Paige become the manager of SmackDown after Bryan, which is fine, and they put Absolution on SmackDown, and you know, Paige wasn't going to give them any special treatment because he was their manager, which is fine. But it kind of just fizzled.
Unfortunately, it did, but I mean, and it's a shame because when she retired, it was like, okay, what's next? You know. But the fact of the matter is that, well, there's a rumor that she may eventually get back into the ring at some point, but who knows when. I mean, she's still fairly young, so let's see what...
Oh, yeah, she's only like 24, 25.
Yeah, so let's see how far it goes. And,
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose.
Yeah, really. I do remember also there was a match between Rusev, Nakamura, and Andrade against Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Ali. Not Mustafa Ali anymore.
Prince Ali.
It was a fairly good match. One of the moments that I thought was pretty cool is Aleister goes for like a moonsault or something, does a backflip, and Ali kind of tumbles into the ring, and Ricochet comes in over leaping over the top rope or whatever. Three of them are sitting cross-legged in the ring. It's like, oh, yes. Damn, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those two definitely won me over as a tag team.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I said, Aleister Black needs to be a singles wrestler, but at the same time, these two work out really well. And who thought they would have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania? That didn't happen, so...
Yeah. But anyways, Aleister Black, Ali, and Ricochet end up getting the win, and they're celebrating going on in the ring, and out of nowhere, fucking RKO by Randy Orton.
God. Yeah.
And Randy leaves, and then they show, I think it was Rusev in the ring, and he gets fucking started by Kevin Owens, and it's like, wait, what? Seriously?
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I'm like, what's this now?
Yeah, exactly. Anything you can do, I can do just as good.
Pretty much.
Copycat?
Yeah. Raw was good.
Raw was good, yeah.
You know, I watched that, and it's funny because we talked about Undertaker not being at WrestleMania since WrestleMania 16.
Yes.
So, I mean, to me that's cool. Only because, okay, we put the whole Undertaker streak to bed. We put him to bed, so let's move on. Okay, so, I mean, he didn't show up. You have Elias come out, and he's talking about WrestleMania, talking about John Cena doing a rap. And then he says the classic line about a dead man.
I got 3 fingers, and the middle one's for you. And he goes, oh, the next time somebody interrupts me, they're a dead man. And, well, he got a dead man, all right.
There you go.
The dead man.
Yep. What did you think?
I mean, encounter between Elias and Taker, and of course Taker beat him up, whatever, that's fine. Would have been interesting to have more of a lead up to it.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice though, and I don't know what the case is, but it almost seemed as if it was a little bit rushed for Taker to come out, only because I noticed that when he had the hat on, the jacket on,
Yeah.
the straps for his singlet, like his top, they weren't up, they were still down, and it was like, were you in a little bit of a hurry, Taker, or what?
Well, when he didn't take his hat off, I'm like, oh god, it's a stick-on wig, he lost his hair. Which wasn't the case, but, nah, I mean, he still looks good. I think it is true, though, it's time for him to leave. You know, and I understand Shawn Michaels came back, had like 2 matches, whatever, but Undertaker, Mark Calloway, the guy has a lot of issues with his body. Yeah, he still works out. What more can they do with him, honestly? Unless he find a way to get Sting to come back, which I doubt it.
Mm.
Unless you find a way for Goldberg to come back, which I doubt it. What more do you have for The Undertaker?
I'm sure given the right time and the right circumstances, there is endless potential for opponents for Taker. Okay, you have him do work with Elias. You could work a little more with that.
Yeah.
You can put him in the ring with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
You can put him in the ring with Bobby Lashley. You could maybe, if they'll work up something, him and Braun Strowman. Him and maybe...
Yeah.
I don't know about Balor, but maybe him and...
Bianca Belair?
That would not work out. Him and Seth Rollins. Maybe
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose if he comes back at some point. There's potential. It's just the timing has to be right.
Yeah.
The intrigue has to be there, and it's got to be something The Undertaker will want to do.
Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, and I know we've never seen it before, and I know that's probably stupid, but Undertaker as the Intercontinental Champion.
That wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, you put that on him, and he will be a Triple Crown Champion.
No, absolutely.
Or hell, because he had the Hardcore title. Grand Slam champion. Yes.
It was interesting there yesterday. I was talking to a friend of mine that I know that is a wrestling fan as well, that goes to the same program I go to on Thursdays, and we were talking about WrestleMania and talking about The Undertaker, and he says to me, "Oh, I saw The Undertaker on Raw, and he's still in really good shape." And I said, "Yeah, he's still in pretty good shape at 54. And he goes, "What, 54? I said, yeah, he's 54. Guy goes, "I thought he was old." He's like, "No, he's only mid-50s.
Right. It's crazy.
He may seem like he's older, but he's only mid-50s.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, his birthday was last month.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's true. Meanwhile, you had a match with Bayley and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Same result.
Wah.
So, there's that. Lars Sullivan came out, destroyed Kurt Angle during Kurt Angle's speech.
Well,
Baron Corbin came out.
Baron Corbin came out first, and he said they do the whole introduction thing. Former acting general manager, former Golden Gloves boxing champion, this, that, and Barclay Sanders' favorite son is like, "You idiots."
I don't think so.
Anyway, so he comes out and he's boasting about how he beat Kurt Angle and this, that, and the other thing, and then Kurt comes out and he's like, "Yeah, you beat me in my final match, fair and square. I want to shake your hand and wish you all the best of luck." Of course, he goes left-handed, which is, I guess, a no-no or whatever. And then he goes, "I want to wish you all the best of luck, but bad luck." And then fucking Angle slams him.
Yeah.
And, he's in the ring, and
Yeah.
they got the whole "you suck" chant going, and then do. It's like, wait, seriously? Here comes big, bad, muscular, brooding, freakish, the next version of the Rocky Mountain Monster, Larry Sullivan.
Pretty much. I mean, it's like Baron Corbin on steroids.
And it's like, well, I guess in the time off, he got the mental help he needed or whatever it was, and he was ready to debut, and that's a hell of a way to make a debut against Kurt Angle.
Oh, and he fucked Kurt Angle up so bad.
He threw him like he was nothing.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with him, though.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Finn Balor took on...
Oh, okay, so... Sami Zayn comes back. And he, skanks down to the ring. And he's like, happy to be there and happy to be back.
Fucking 9-10 months away. Double shoulder surgery.
Yeah. I had to
Humna.
figure out what that was, but anyways.
Surgery on both shoulders.
Yeah. So, he comes out, he wants a match, you know, so out comes Finn Balor, and he says he's going to put the Intercontinental title on the line. So they have the match. Finn Balor hits the coup de grace, wins, and the swerve that ends all swerves. And you know, I didn't really think that was going to happen.
Yeah, the swerve of all swerves. Heel turn! Sammy's like, oh, you guys are idiots. You guys are stupid. I don't like Brooklyn. You guys are ugly. You guys are whatever. And it's like, okay.
I actually thought it was like a shoot, but I don't know. Like, to me, it's kind of, you know, you don't know what a work or a shoot is anyway anymore.
You're really.
But he was right. They go there and they are stupid. They make idiotic comments and they don't know shit. Just watch the show, basically. See what happens with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Because he did show up on SmackDown and he picked up the mic and he was going to talk and then he just threw the mic down.
He's like, oh, you're not worth it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay then.
So, yeah, that's what I remember out of while.
Well, they were going to have a title unification between
Oh, yes, yes.
Seth Rollins, the new Universal Champion, beating Brock,
Yeah.
and of course Kofi Kingston, new WWE Champion. It started out being a fairly good match, and well, that didn't last long because you had the Bar come out, interfere, cause the disqualification. And Seth gets on the mic. He's like, no, we're not doing it like that. You two, me and Kofi tag match right now.
Yeah.
And match goes on. Pretty good match. Kofi and Seth pick up the win. And shake hands and hold up both their titles. And it's like, see, why can't it be more like that between two champions? None of this, oh, I'm a better champion than you, and, you know, my title means something, and there's prestige to my title. No, go fuck yourself.
Pretty much. So let's first talk about Ring of Honor. And this was a really good show. You know, you had bouncers.
Bouncers, yeah.
And they took on the Canadian twins. I can't remember their names offhand, but pretty much a squash match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see how tough these guys are, too. In the ring, and, you know, Beer City, Bruiser, definitely. I mean, I said this before, remind me of an old school take team.
Yeah.
So, well, they had Silas Young do a promo, and again, I'm trying to think about who it was, but basically beating him up, and smoking a cigarette, and yeah, that was, you know, yeah, Roosh came out and had a match, and Don Castle was in the commentary with Caprice Coleman and the other guy, so that was pretty cool. Now it's basically a Ring of Honor. Can't think of what else happened.
Right.
That was before G1 actually. So, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Man, Impact, I saw bits and pieces of.
Right.
Did you watch Impact? Well, first off, Johnny Mundo turned heel.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
him and Ty Valkyrie turned heel, so that was pretty interesting.
They're like the Impact heel couple, if you will.
Yeah.
Her being the Knockouts champion and him being the Impact Wrestling champion.
You had LAX get their ass handed to him by
Lucha Brothers.
the Lucha Brothers, yes.
Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a good match. I mean, that rivalry is pretty cool, you know.
It's going somewhere. It's getting good.
I mean, there's a lot of respect between the two, obviously. You know, Coleman's had a lot of history in Mexico,
Yes.
so I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Was started out as a friendly rivalry and all about respect. It turned sour very, very quickly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
So, looking forward to that. Can't wait to see what's going to happen there. Obviously, Disco Inferno is challenging Scarlet Bordeaux. I'm not quite sure if they had the match yet.
Oh yeah, they already had the match.
So,
It was basically Disco Inferno beating up Scarlet Bordeaux for most of the match, and I gotta give it to Don Callis on commentary. He made it so much better.
oh,
Everything he did to Scarlet, and Callis was making Disco Inferno out to be the bad guy. Oh, you're an asshole. Oh, how could you do that to a woman? This, that, and the other thing. She ended up getting the win anyways over Disco.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There was a match actually. It was Petey Williams, Ohio versus everything. Petey Williams, and can't remember who else. But you had Petey Williams do a Super Destroyer to Jay Chris.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool.
One thing I will say is that week before they had the thing where Rosemary was going into the undead realm to get Ali's soul back, and she's beating up all these guys, people, whatever, using this hatchet, and they go out onto stage that looks like a wrestling show of some kind, and you have James Mitchell in the ring, and he's giving this elaborate speech, and then Rosemary comes out of a curtain with Ali, and they get in the ring, and she's like, you know why we're here, I want Ali's soul back, and James Mitchell goes, oh, you shouldn't have come here, he doesn't want you here, and it turns out this leader of the undead realm was Kevin Sullivan.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
And
Damn it,
so they've got Rosemary in the ring beating up all these people, and then you see Kira Hogan, and Rosemary's like, you shouldn't be here, and Kira's like, oh, I said I was gonna be with you until the very end, and all this other stuff. And so you have you in the ring with one of her undead brides, and Rosemary and Kira, they're fighting each other and going back and forth. And then at one point, Rosemary takes out the undead bride, Kira Hogan gets taken out somehow, and then you see Sue Young put on this Freddy Krueger-esque looking thing on her hand, and it looks like she's gonna take out Rosemary. Ali pushes her out of the way, takes her right in the throat,
Oh, yeah.
and she falls down, and of course Rosemary's got her in her arms and crying, and it's like, okay, this is a different side of Rosemary. And she's like, Bonnie, don't do it, don't go. And of course, when they show Ali again, she doesn't have the all black outfit or the white paint on her lower half of her face. She looks like herself, you could say.
Yeah.
Nice colorful top, jeans, boots, whatever. And she's like, it's okay, demon, I'm whole again. And then you see her kind of fade away, and it's like, okay, that's actually a pretty good send-off for Ali, because now she's signed with
AEW.
yes, All Elite Wrestling.
That's right. So I mean, I can't wait for that to come out. And you know, it's funny because a lot of people are like, well, WWE is going to buy it out. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
This isn't a WCW thing. It's a whole different promotion.
Yeah, well,
I was watching someone, and they were saying it made a lot of sense. It's an alternative to WWE, which
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't think WCW. Well, I mean, it was back in the day, but when the Monday Night Wars happened,
WCW was an alternative to WWE, but then it got to a point where bankruptcy was a huge problem, and they're giving wrestlers XYZ, VW, ZKPR dollars on a contract, and then when WCW folded, these big-time WCW stars could have went to WWE when a lot of the other guys did, but because in the contract they said, oh, I get $1 million to send on my ass home and do absolutely fuck all, they did.
Pretty much, yeah. But it was almost like, and I can't remember what it was, so they said, it's kind of like, oh, you like Coke? Well, I like Pepsi.
Mm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like a lot of people don't like WWE anymore just because it has gone downhill. But in my opinion, and to their defense, like I keep saying, it's a hell of a lot better than it was 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah, for sure.
But, there it is. I just remember that this was last week's episode of Impact.
Yes.
And new one's tonight.
Yes.
Which, shit.
Yeah, I know.
Foul! But that's why we don't do these very much, because it's hard to keep up. But
yeah. Well, I think they moved Impact to Friday nights on the Fight Network.
Right.
When in the United States they went to that new channel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ohio versus Everything now has a new teammate.
Madman Fulton, formerly Sawyer Fulton in NXT, member of Sanity, and then he left for whatever reason, and then they brought in Killian Dean, and hadn't seen him for a while, and there he's popping up, and Impact joining Sammy Callahan and the Chris Boys.
Yep.
Beating up Rich Swann, and yeah.
Yeah, well, their match was, that was, and Tommy Dreamer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting up on Sawyer, and that was interesting.
With the chair, and Sawyer's not going to back down, Tommy's not going to back down, but you got Callahan grabbing Sawyer by the hair on the back of the head and kind of grabbing him to restrain him and pull him away. It's like, okay, that's interesting.
It's going to be something to look forward to, actually. But, yeah, Kevin Sullivan's back. I am excited. Watching him in the past, I remember he came to Ring of Honor, and he was B.J. Whitmer's father, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he basically tried to get Steve Corino in the group, and he did eventually, but then it fizzled out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see Kevin Sullivan back.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Kevin Sullivan kind of is like the devil, if you will, the leader of the undead realm. I guess Rosemary's kind of grabbed a pick with Sue Young after what happened with Ali, and so Rosemary at this graveyard, at a gravesite, but all you can see is like this big kind of concrete cross, and Rosemary's talking, and she's like, oh, it's time for us to settle unfinished business, and it's like, well, okay, it's apparent that they kind of gave Ali a farewell send-off, burying her, if you will, not let her, well, in a figurative sense.
yeah, like
yeah.
And it's like, okay, this will be interesting to see where it goes.
It is.
And yeah.
Like, we're gonna watch a new episode now. But again, we're gonna try to go back to this week in wrestling episodes here and there.
Yeah.
It's just, again, trying to figure out what all happened. Like, I have a good memory, but it's short.
Yeah. That tends to happen.
Well, apparently Smash is no more. I mean, we haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I honestly remember was Pepper Parks turning heel on...
Mike Rollins.
Yeah. And kind of like, yeah, interesting way they did it, though. I mean, you had... Oh, well, the storyline thing, you got Pepper Parks outside of the balcony with a box. So they have a match. It's well-oiled machines and Andy Williams. And the match is over. Pepper Parks is like, oh, wait a second. Goes out of the ring, grabs the box. Gets it in the ring, gives it to Mike. Mike grabs it, opens the box, and is shocked, I guess. And yeah, Pepper Parks heel turn. So I guess him and Andy Williams are a team now. So they're gonna have a match at some point, and it's gonna be Mike Rollins and I guess his conscience, which it better not be like a Vince McMahon God storyline. Versus Pepper Parks and I guess Andy Williams. So
Okay.
yeah. Other than that, there's really not too much happening. I mean, Smash was in Kitchener a while ago. My brother is the camera guy and editor for that, so I think it'll be back soon, but obviously, who really knows when. So, and like I said before, you know, I try to think about these shows, and obviously we got WWE down, but we talk about Impact and stuff, and I just saw Ring of Honor too, so yeah, I mean, we'll get better at this, and we'll do it every once in a while. I mean, we used to do it quite a bit, but yeah, that was this week in wrestling. So what should we do next week? Well, actually, next week is Easter.
Yes.
Okay, so what should we do the following week?
One thing I've thought of, haven't really mentioned it, like, we've been kind of on a roll with these videos, and this is the first time where we haven't had an idea for videos in a little bit. An idea for a video we could do is a top 10 or so-ish best, favorite, whatever you want to call it, wrestling commentators.
Yeah, that sounds a good idea. Okay. Well, let's do it then. We'll have the top 10 favorite, at least, commentators. And, yeah, I mean, there's been a couple through the years. WWF, even WCW, which is going to be hard for me. ECW, which is going to be a little bit... I mean, I'll figure it out. And... so yeah, in 2 weeks, it's going to be top 10 favorite commentators. I think, you know, best and worst commentators, I don't know if there's really a worst list.
Yeah.
But we'll see what we can do anyways.
It doesn't really have to be a best and worst thing. It can just be like favorite commentators or commentators you really enjoyed. Like anytime you watch wrestling, listening to whoever on commentary you really captivated you and just put you on the edge of your seat and just really made you invest in the match.
And then I think the week after that we can do the last WCW pay-per-view, which I'll leave it up on the screen. And then the week after that will be the last ever ECW pay-per-view, and I'm not talking about One Night Stand. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure when Money in the Bank is.
May 19th.
May 19th, okay, so We still have a ways to go. Oh, we still have more classic wrestling shows to watch.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
we will have to do something about that as well. And so yeah, there's at least 3 ideas going around. Let's look forward to that. Anyways, I'm Mean Matt, and that's Killer Kyle, and we will see you next time. Deuces.
Peace out.